Recently on a flight, sitting next to a guy in first class, talking about what do you do? What do you do? Are you nervous getting in front of so many people and speaking? And I thought about that. And the answer is absolutely not. Why? Because I know exactly what I'm talking about. The only time you'll be nervous is if you don't know what you're talking about. Matter of fact, there was a time I was nervous, and that was in Japan. I had to go out and address about 3,000 people, and my voice was completely shot. And also, we had an interpreter, and I was a little nervous that they wouldn't quite understand what I was saying, but went off great. You know, I love the culture in Japan. They have billboards up, like we have a beer billboard or a cigarette billboard, an advertisement. They have billboards up with just one word, like efficiency, or innovation, or strategic influence, things like that, where it's just a concept, and I don't know who pays for those, but it's just an awesome thing. You look at the culture and how they're just moving and flowing and motivated, and they take pride in what they do. They're very serious. You know, each time we go, we spend about 2 weeks to a month over there, and they're very serious about what they do. I had a discrepancy with a room service order. I didn't remember ordering some food, and they were calling that guy at his house at the middle of the night, and he came over, the bellboy came over, got it straightened out, but that's how serious they are about it. And I really was impressed with the culture. Now, I charge a lot for what I do. I charge a lot of money. And why not? You see, one idea can turn your whole life around. One idea can make you a millionaire. Just one idea can turn it all around. So we charge a lot of money. And you know, I just recently stopped doing private martial arts training, $2,400 for a weekend. And you can imagine being booked up all the time for 2 days. Is that pretty good? That's pretty good. But you know what? It really isn't enough for my time at this point. Now, I'm not bragging, but I'm telling you that you have within you the ability to go for so much more than you are now. And it'd be a shame if you never actualized, if you never realized that potential. Information is highly valuable. You know, every time Doc LaTourette puts something out, I get it. I mean, I've got 4,000 videos, DVDs, CDs, tapes, thousands of books. Why? Well, like the good book says, wisdom is the principal thing. And in all you're getting, get understanding. And why does it say that? Why? Because if you don't know how, if you don't understand, then you're not going to get it. You're going to miss out. And smart people know the value of information. It's worth it. I've paid thousands of dollars for just a couple of videos. Why? Because the information in there is like gold. There is a value in information. There's a value in knowledge. There's a value in understanding. Think about it. How much is a CD worth? Well, you go to Kmart and you buy a stack of blank CDs, and what are they? 50 cents a piece? 25 cents a piece? But you take a CD and you put some information on it. Like 12 or 18 songs by the Beatles, and now how much is that CD? 18 bucks. 18 bucks versus 25 cents. What's the difference? What's the difference? It's a CD, it's a disc. It's the information. It's the information that's therein. And that's why communicators are some of the highest paid people in the world. Politicians, singers, actors, speakers. Why? Because they communicate information, and ideas are more powerful than anything. Understand that. Understand that right now. Now, most people buy on form instead of content. But what's valuable? The content is what's valuable. The content, the information therein, is what is valuable on that CD. A blank CD, not worth much. But the content, what's inside that CD, can be so valuable that it can change your life. Now think about this. What you'll get here in this course, in martial mastery, you can turn your life around. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve. I don't care what it is. You can get it, you can do it, and after you study these DVDs, you won't have any more excuses. I hope you realize that what I'm saying, I mean. Am I serious? I'm deadly serious. Not only will you learn exactly how I did it and how you can do it too, but you'll get everything that Jason laid out that was ever mentioned about these DVDs. You'll learn persuasion, influence, mind control, ninja mind control. Yes, there is such a thing. You'll learn how to instantly tell if someone is lying. Matter of fact, by the end of this hour, I'll show you how to make $250,000 a year, even $1 million a year. Now to some of you, some of my clients, that's not much. But most of you, $250,000 a year would be a big improvement, wouldn't it? It'd be quite a jump from where you are now. Pay close attention. Don't reject it on form. Now, you go and you get a DVD at Blockbuster, you buy a DVD, a movie. How much does that cost? 18 bucks? 22 bucks? Pretty pictures, glossy, shrink wrapped. You're buying content. And the form is pretty good, and the content's good too. You get a good movie, you get special effects, you get highly paid actors. But what you don't get is you don't get life-changing information. You get a little entertainment. You get a little amusement. You get a little escape. These DVDs and what I do and what I teach is not about amusement. It's not about escape. It's not about entertainment. It's about information that you can apply to turn your life around to do whatever you want to do. I've taken years of study and research and martial arts expertise and real-world experience in everything that we've described and distilled it down to what you're going to get in these DVDs. Now, it's very important that you do one thing, and that is mine for gold. Mine for gold. And what do I mean by that, mine for gold? Well, a gold miner will take a little pan with a little screen, he'll go down to the river, and he'll scoop out a bunch of dirt from the bottom of the stream, and he'll shake it, and he'll sift through, and then he'll start seeing when the dirt falls through little gold nuggets, and he'll pick those out. And it's the same thing that you can do when you're studying any information product, mine for gold, because all you need is that one gold nugget to make it worthwhile. And the neat thing about it is, where if you're really mining for gold at a stream, you can sell a gold nugget or many gold nuggets for a lot of money, but the gold that you find here, you can use over and over and over again. It's like your own private gold mine. Bruce Lee said, absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, and add what is uniquely your own. Does that make sense? Absorb what you can use, reject what you can't use, add what is uniquely your own. In other words, what can I do? How can I use this? How can I apply what I already do? How can I take Andrew's concept there? How can I take that mastery key and use it in what I'm doing to get more, to get much more? Does that make sense? Are you with me on this? Mine for gold. Now, another thing you should do is watch alone. That's important. Watch alone. Why? Because when you're watching, say, a movie or entertainment with a friend and you're laughing and talking, oh, isn't that funny, isn't that great? Or that sucks, hey? You're getting feedback from another energy, the other person. This is for you. This is all for you. So you need to sit alone and go through these things, absorb. This is building time. This is the crucible. This is like taking the coal and putting it into that furnace to turn it into a diamond. Now, when you watch alone, you're able to absorb, you're able to hear your own thoughts. When you're in a room with another person, you tend to hear their thoughts. You both shift, you both laugh, or smirk, or go, yeah, okay? And you're affected by that. Study time should be alone so that you can be undistracted and get the most out of it. Does that make sense? Watch alone. That's important. And what you should do is watch through one time, just take a notepad and a pen and sit down. I recommend in the morning, but if your schedule doesn't work that way, you do it when you can do it, when it's quiet, when you have the most peace and quiet you can get. But don't do it when you're burnt out, dead-ass tired after a long day of work, okay? Do it when you have some energy. I recommend watching one a day, and just go through it, just watch it. And if you hear any great ideas that you can use, just jot them down quickly, once a day. After you're done doing that, then you go through it again and you really seriously mine for gold. You really seriously pay attention and take notes through. So it's just once through at a normal rate, once a day. Some of you a little more motivated and you'll go through 2 or 3 in a day, or as many as you can, and that's fine too. But then go back through and come through very seriously and go over it very carefully. And you'll continually find information that you can use. Now another thing, 18 and only, don't watch with your kids. Why? Occasionally, to illustrate a point, I will use a strategically placed cuss word. Why? Because it's part of our English language. And sometimes it makes the point. Now, I don't punctuate my every word, effing this, effing that, effing this, but sometimes it will punctuate the point, and I want to get the point across. Hey, this material isn't for children. So, 18 and only, adults only, and watch alone, and mine for gold. If you can find one idea, that makes it all worth it, doesn't it? I spend thousands on going to seminars, on buying courses just like this one. I'm constantly improving and studying and honing my sword. It's that simple. I'm sharpening my sword. And I want you to consider that this is what you're doing. You're sharpening your sword for the battlefield of life. That's an important and alone time. Now, a lot of times in life, we're unhappy about something in the past. Why? It's because you didn't handle it perfectly. Each situation that you handle perfectly, you'll never regret, you'll never look back, you may even never remember. You've got unfinished business. If you could go back right now and talk to you when you were a child, when you were 8 years old, what would you tell that child, knowing what you know now? Doing what you do now, knowing what you know, having the experiences that you've had. What would you tell that child? What would you tell yourself? Would you go back and say, hey, listen, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to focus like a laser. Don't ever doubt yourself. Don't let anything stop you. The day a man loses his doubts is the day all of his enemies flee in fear. You've got unfinished business. You can change your past, present, and future in just a few minutes flat. See, I want you to dominate life like a pit bull. And it's not about emotional platitudes that get you high, because what happens with emotions? You go to a seminar, you get pumped up by a motivational speaker. It's like a rock concert, you're pumped up. And then what happens? You go home, and in a couple of days, you're back down to where you were. Emotional highs don't last. So there's got to be a way to bypass emotion and get the information right into your subconscious, where it'll always be forever. And that's what we're going to do here. It's not feel-good fast food. This is not Oprah material. No offense to Oprah. But this is not Dr. Phil, Oprah, feel-good material. This is about changing forever. And emotional highs won't last. You're not going to dominate life by pumping up your emotions and feeling good. Matter of fact, the way to dominate life is to become emotionally detached and have a vision and go after it like a tiger with laser-sharp precision, undoubting and unwavering. Remember I said how one idea can turn your life around? Just one idea can change it all for you? And there are so many areas of life, like Buddha talks about his eightfold path: right thinking, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood. I forget all eight, but you get the point, right? The eightfold path, you've heard of that? Right thinking, right speech, what is it? Right conduct, right eating. Life is like a pie, okay? It's a circle, and there are pieces in that pie. And when I talk about prosperity, when I talk about victory, that's just one portion of the pie. The whole thing has to prosper. Your health, your finances, your martial arts, your spiritual growth, your education, your family life, your relationships. There's so much to life. And the totality of what you learn here can be applied to all of life, to every area. You can take these martial mastery skills and apply them to any area of life to get a perfect result. For example, in your finances, let's say you're not making what you want to make. You know that you should be abundant, that you should have enough money to be able to turn it down. You can do that. Now, how do you do that? Let's say you've got a job, you're making 50, 60, 80 grand a year. That's probably just getting by, isn't it? So what can you do right now? One idea. Here's an example. Do you have a phone? Do you have an internet connection? Well, do you know how many businesses, how many industries are out there, and how many do not have websites? And they want websites, but they don't have the time, they don't have the knowledge. There are so many industries out there. And still, in this day and age, internet's been around, pretty much a household thing since what? 1994, 95? For sure 96, right? A household name. And yet there are still businesses out there, even big businesses, who would just love to cut you a check for $1,700. There are so many businesses, so many industries. It's like a gold mine out there. You could never exhaust this. Any business that sells, even if it sells nationwide, statewide, or countywide, needs a website. It's like having a business card. How could you not have a business card? How could you not have a phone listing? How could you not have a website if you're in any type of business? And how this idea came to me was almost accidentally. See, when your spirit is turned on, you're going to pick up opportunities left and right. They just pop up to the surface like a bubble coming up to the top of a lake. So, my ranch in Tahoe needs a gate. I like a gate. I don't like people driving up, okay? So I'm looking for an electric gate that'll open up. So I find a guy in the phone book.